Hey there, Internet fans. It's Ryan Perry with a Simple Biz Support. It's Wednesday, therefore, it is Social Media Wednesday. On the other side, I've got Sarah Giametti with ICT Marketing. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Ryan. How are you?
Struggling a little bit. As you can tell, you've got the up your nose camera view. Unfortunately, my main PC's having some issues right now, so I had to break out the laptop. That's why we started a little bit late, and that's why I'm looking down on everybody, which I normally don't like to do, unless I guess I can talk like this at a hunched level throughout this broadcast. So it is what it is, but we're going to make it work one way or the other.
Yep, I'm sure that'll be great for your posture anyway. You
Yeah,
can just work it out at PowerFit.
there you go. We talk beforehand. We had to break out the old technology, the cell phones, in order to nail down our broadcast today. And we were talking about the fact that you can actually advertise on Google Plus. So not Google AdWords, although it is through AdSense, but it's a way of promoting your Google Plus page, your social media business Google Plus page. And for me, from an SEO point of view, that's an important feature simply because Google, you always want to play in Google's playbox, sandbox, if you will, in the sense that if you play under their rules, their terms, your chances of being found, becoming more visible, first page placement is more important. So having good social engagement on Google Plus, especially if you're in a competitive market space, can be very, very helpful. And so you're going to kind of talk about what that looks like, and also you kind of talked about a kind of a unique program of tying the Google Plus ads along with Facebook, and I forget, custom audience. So I'm going to let you talk.
All right. So yes, Google Plus does allow you to run ads promoting your Google Plus posts. It runs very differently from things like Facebook and Twitter. First off, you unfortunately do have to have 1,000 followers on your Google Plus page for your business before you're allowed to run these ads. Second, you are promoting the Google Plus posts. However, you're not promoting them within the Google Plus platform. You actually promote them through the Google AdWords campaign program platform, and you send it out on their displayed network. So the ads show up on third-party networks like XYZ.com, and people can see the post and interact with it from there without having to come back to Google Plus. And so this is where it's kind of a game changer. Is your posts are getting promoted to a possible audience throughout the internet off of the social media platform, and they can interact with it from there. They can click the link to go to whatever article you're posting, maybe one of your blog articles or one of your videos. They can plus one it from there. They can comment from there, and so your engagement increases. Some of the bigger brands who have already run these, they're reporting a 50% increase in their engagement by running these page post ads. The other beauty of it is traditional Facebook advertising is within the Google search pages. It's a headline and some text. So there's no picture, there's no pretty. In the display network, you can have a picture ad, but again, it's not interactive as much as.
Okay, so let me just, because I think we're taking it to a place that really hasn't been talked about a lot. So just to give sorry. Just to give clarification to the audience, let's take them through a scenario. Let's say you've got a shoe store and you want to sell shoes. If you're on Facebook and you do Facebook advertising, you are restricted to be within the Facebook network. That is, if anybody is not on Facebook or they're not logged into Facebook, they will never see your ads because they're only going to show on Facebook. What you're saying with the Google is that because it goes through AdSense and the ads actually go out through their what is it, the display network, is that the ads, you do not have to be in Google Plus like you do have to be in Facebook in order to see an ad. It might show up on I don't know some of their, but they have some big agencies. I don't want to say MSNBC News, but they do have some very large websites like that that they post ads on. And so
Correct.
and you're saying that instead of it just being an ad with a bolded title and 2 lines of text like we would normally see for pay-per-click, we can actually have a picture ad. So it's a little bit more engaging, more visible, more attractive.
Correct. It would be the post that you post in Google Plus is what people would see throughout the display network. So if you include an image in your Google Plus post, either just a straight image with some text or the image that goes along with a link to a blog article or whatever page you're promoting, that imagery, so it could be beautiful, colorful imagery, custom text. Obviously, the text you still want to keep shorter because it is still an ad, but that you have a lot more control over the visual part of the ad. And yes, it's displayed throughout the Google Display Network, throughout the internet. So as long as people are logged into, actually they don't need to be logged into Google. They have to be logged in to interact with it so that their name shows up and everything. But it gives people the opportunity to interact with your posts throughout the internet versus just having to be on Google+. The ads actually are never on Google+.
Okay, so it's always on the display network. So even if people are logged into their Gmail account, they can actually like it, share it, those type of things. If they're not logged in, they're still going to see the ad, so there's still value. They can click on it. It'll take them into Google+. But definitely from a brand point of view, I love the fact that you can incorporate images, because I think images are so important these days with your audience. I mean, think about Pinterest, Instagram, how popular those social media platforms are. That's strictly all they do is images for the most part.
Absolutely. With these days, we're very visual people, and so we like the images, we like video, as you know, that's a giant part of your specialty. And so this is where the images are big and beautiful, and, well, they're various sizes, but they stand out in the ads. And they're interactive, which a lot of ads really are they're a dead picture where you click through, you don't really know where you're going. This gives you the opportunity to tell people what you're trying to show them versus just a picture. It's a blog article about Facebook custom audiences for mine, for instance. So you can tell them ahead of time, like a news article, to entice them to click the link and go read the article, read the blog post. And so it makes it more interactive, more human to them than just a picture ad that says your name, a couple of words about what you do, and hope that they click through the picture to whatever random place you're sending them because they really don't have any idea.
Okay. So and then the kicker bonus that you had talked about before we started the broadcast was the fact that is integrating the Google Plus ad with the the Facebook custom audience.
Yeah, so this is what people are thinking might be a bit of a game changer with lead generation is Facebook custom audiences. You can use tracking pixels on certain pages of your website so if you went to my website and read a blog post that I had a tracking pixel on for Facebook and you were logged in your Facebook account, Facebook would grab your Facebook information, and the next time you log into Facebook, my ads in Facebook would be delivered to you. And so you see this a lot more often. Online shopping use this the most, more than small businesses do. And so have you ever noticed you're doing online shopping, looking at a product, you go back onto Facebook, and all of a sudden you see that product everywhere?
Right, and it's not like if we talk about shoes again, it's not just a picture of a shoe, it's a picture of the shoe you were looking at. It's that specific, and so that's called rebranding.
That's retargeting.
Or retargeting, I'm sorry, yes, retargeting, which is very powerful. So you're recommending that this type of marketing is probably best suited for people selling a product versus service-oriented businesses.
Not necessarily. They're just the ones who have taken advantage of it the most. Service organizations, there's no reason that a service organization can't utilize it the same way. It is a little bit harder with the images. You have to be a lot more creative with your imagery that you're going to use for these ads. But here, the scenario could be potentially you put a post on Google+, you run that ad on the display network, someone clicks on the link, goes to your website, reads the blog article, that you were promoting, you have a Facebook tracking link on that blog article, and the next time that person's on Facebook, they see your ads again. So here's somebody that's already shown interest in your content because they've been on your website to look at a blog article, a video, they may have stayed, looked at more information, and now you get to touch them again on a second platform, third platform, really, if you count your website, and pull them, draw them in on Facebook as well. So now you've touched them on multiple platforms, and you have an opportunity to grab them as a follower and keep putting your content in front of them and nurturing them into that sale.
Right, and if you think about it from a branding point of view, what's the touch now? Is it 7 to 10 approximately? You need to have 7 to 10 touches before people really recognize you?
I still think it's closer to 20. I mean, everybody has a differing opinion of what the number of touches is, but people are kind of in content shock. There's so much content out there. We're being driven a ton of content every time we log into every single social media platform. There's a huge amount of content that is fighting for our attention.
Sure.
So I think it would be higher for your brand to stand out in that mess of content. So you need a lot of touches, and so this is an opportunity to touch them in multiple different places so they start remembering you, and then when you hit them on Facebook, they have the option to follow you and get more and more of your content, and so you just keep touching them and touching them. Right. And that's all based on activity they took somewhere out on the internet because they saw a different ad that you were running.
Right. Now, you may not know the answer to this. One of the things I'm thinking of is that, okay, so I run the Google Plus ad, I do the Facebook, and I'm forgetting everything today, I apologize, the custom audience ad. Somebody goes to my blog, they read an article, they get tagged by Facebook, they log into Facebook, they see my ad. Do you have any ideas? If I keep on paying every single month as the business owner, if I keep my account going with Facebook, how long that ad will show to that end user?
That I actually don't know.
Okay.
How long that goes. It may be until they convert. So they've liked the page, things like that. It might end it. That I actually don't know the answer to.
Okay. I'm sure Facebook will take your money one way or the other, though.
Oh, absolutely. They're more than happy to take your ad money, and they still are the cheapest form of advertising around.
Right. Down. Yeah, and actually Zuckerberg needs more money. I just read an article yesterday. Apparently people have been working on his house for over a year now, construction, building all this new stuff, remodeling everything, and the neighbors are getting a little annoyed with the noise, the dust, the blocked roads, the no parking, and then of course there's security on top of it all. So, but can you imagine remodeling a house for over a year?
No, it sounds horrid. But he also bought like 4 houses surrounding his house.
Yeah, he spent $30 million on 4 houses around his house. I don't know if he's going to tear all those down so you can just have one big property.
No, he wanted to control who moved in with him, which is smart. I mean, that's smart.
Because as he starts having kids, he's going to have 4 kids apparently, and so now each one of them will have a house right next to mom and dad. I don't know. I was watching a show the other day, and then we'll get going because we're past our time. But it had to do with people in big pools, and this guy bought the next door neighbor's house so he could tear it down to put a pool in. And this is, he spent like $1 million on the house and the property just so he could put a pool in. I'm like, that is some serious dedication, folks.
That is.
All right. So for people that are interested, though, I really like the 2-part approach using Google because there's so much reach with Google as far as advertising, and then bringing it into Facebook for that. And I've got rebranding stuck in my head. Retargeting. To retarget the ad so you get multiple impressions is very, very powerful. What's a good way for people to get a hold of you, Sarah, with any questions?
They can find me across all the social media stuff. So ict-marketing.com is our website. Facebook, we're ICT-marketing, I think. ICT marketing, one of those. Someday I'll get that one right. Twitter, where I see _marketing. So you can hit me up on the social media platforms. I'm there personally as well. If you want to reach me personally, I'd say go for Twitter, not Facebook. I lock my personal Facebook down, so you'd have a harder time reaching me. But you can reach me through my company pages as well.
All right, perfect. Sarah, as always, I appreciate your time, and we'll be talking next week.
Thanks, Ryan. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.